What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. And from PJ Media, just when dim debates would have been interesting, DNC says there will be no debates. I wonder why. Why would they do that? Is it because every single one of their talking points and agendas make no sense and they shouldn't want the public to hear it at all? Or is it because they know that the machine will work for them? In fact, they are the machine, and that voting just isn't real at this particular point in time? I don't know. I would never say that. I'm just saying, like, maybe that's why they wouldn't want to do debates, is because they know they don't have to, like Katie Hobbs, who told the people of Arizona that, you know what, I don't really have to tell you what my platforms are because I know that the establishment is going to go to work for me. So you're going to wear it no matter what happens. Well, this is disappointing news. The Washington Post reported Thursday that the National Democratic Party has said it will support Biden's reelection and has no plans to sponsor primary debates. It's understandable the Dems have a president of sorts, and so they're counting on the power of incumbency to help their superannuated kleptocrat get over the top again. However, it's also immensely disappointing because after years and years of Democratic presidential debates being dreary displays of candidates trying to out-socialist one another, 2024 Democratic primary debates would have actually had something to offer. Yeah, but they can't. I mean, they definitely don't want that RFK guy who, a lot of people say they like. Then there's also these clips of him saying that people who don't agree with climate change should be jailed. So that seems like par for the course. It seems like they should let him talk, but he didn't go to bat for the forced pharmaceutical, so they don't really like him. And that was obviously their cash cow. And we do recall a handful of years ago when they had, I don't know, a dozen of these weirdo establishment hack shield Democrats on stage talking about how they need to have abortions for illegal transgender men or women or she, shim, they, thems, whatever. None of it made any sense. Julian Castro was talking about reproductive justice, and Cory Bathroom Booker was speaking in Spanish, and Beto was talking about taking everybody's guns. It's all absolutely despicable. They shouldn't have wanted any of those to air either, but it happened. But they knew what they had to do. When Hillary Clinton lost, they realized that they had to fortify the election, and they told us about it in that Time magazine article, right? We fixed it for you because we knew that you didn't really like what we were pushing on it, so we did it without you. That's basically what happened. Biden has two challengers, Robert F. Kennedy and Marianne Williamson, both of which would be better than Joe Biden. I mean, if we're talking about the lesser of three evils at this particular point in time. And I shouldn't even say that, because Marianne Williamson doesn't really seem that bad. She's a weird, creepy Democrat, and just by, labeling yourself a Democrat makes me think twice about you. But she seems like a nice lady. You have a bunch of clips of her on Instagram, and she seems pretty entertaining and pretty nice. And of course, this RFK guy came out, very strongly against the forced pharmaceuticals, which makes sense. But of course, that old clip resurfaced of him saying that, climate crises deniers or whatever should be jailed, which is just despicable to me, but right on brand for the establishment. Kennedy announced his candidacy on Wednesday. USA Today reported that RFK immediately had the support of 14% of voters who backed President Joe Biden. According to a USA Today Suffolk University poll, Williamson had 5%, and another 13 were undecided. USA Today noted that is surprising strength for a candidate who has a famous political name, but is now known mostly as the champion of a debunked conspiracy blaming childhood pharmaceuticals for autism. Yeah, debunked conspiracy, blah, blah. That's, I guess, a USA Today quote. They just can't stop. They get their marching orders from the Farm Mafia, as I like to call them. The Farm Mafia, among other entities. I think the Council on Foreign Affairs and the WEF, organizations like that are telling these people what to do. Because we all know right now, Joe Biden isn't making any decisions. He can barely get a spoon to his mouth. USA Today's confident use of the word debunked, however, can't mask a wrong suspicion among an increasing number of Americans that the authorities aren't being honest with us. The Rona shot debacle with what was originally touted as a single shot that would protect you from a deadly disease becoming multiple shots and boosters that carried side effects and were often worse than Rona itself. Only fueled that suspicion. So the establishment media's confidence that voters will dismiss Robert F. Kennedy Jr. because they dislike skepticism may be whistling in the dark. Kennedy also said something extremely interesting in his announcement that he was running. My mission over the next 18 months of this campaign and throughout my presidency will be to end the corrupt merger of state and corporate power that is threatening now to impose a new kind of corporate feudalism on our country. Well, yes, and no one else is talking with this kind of clarity and consistency about the kind of collusion that we saw in the Twitter files between massive corporations and the government. Not even Donald Trump. Yeah, so that's true. And he makes a good point there. But still, even labeling yourself, I mean, look, bro, we know that from the establishment hack shill left, if you say one thing that they don't like, they will put you in a box over there. There is no middle ground. So I'm only reciprocating that energy. When you label yourself a Democrat, you make it very difficult for anybody to trust you because you guys have been so manipulative, right? These are the same people. Kamala Harris, who didn't even make it to the Iowa caucus and called the president a racist, was then picked as VP. I mean, these people they have zero principles. They stand for absolutely nothing except for power and control. You have Mad Maxine Waters who says, go yell in the face of somebody who doesn't agree with you. You have Hillary Clinton saying, we can't be civil with anybody who doesn't agree with us. The list goes on. And then they will, with a straight face, look you right in the eye and say, you're the extremist. It's all absolutely crazy. So when you call yourself a Democrat, know that you are tattooing yourself with that brand of insanity. It's thus entirely within the realm of possibility that RFK's initial 14% could increase considerably with some national exposure. Some have even touted him as the new post-Trump populist, but he is unlikely to appeal to many non-leftists as he still embraces the climate change. Look, I don't even know what you can and can't say on YouTube anymore, but this sun monster nonsense has to stop. Still, he poses an articulate, informed alternative to stumbling, bumbling, fumbling old Joe. Kennedy-Biden debates would have been a wonder to behold just to see RFK eviscerate the corrupt crap, whatever, and expose his, I don't even know what these words are, sorry. And in Marianne Williamson and the proceedings would get even more fun. The self-help guru and author of A Return to Love got some attention during her 2020 candidacy for unforgettable quips, which include, you need not apologize for being brilliant, talented, gorgeous, rich, or smart. And the reason we're such fertile ground for the dark forces of such lies and social manipulation is that we're disassociated from the genuine light of self-awareness. Yeah, see? Not that bad. There's a lot of truth to that. And a Biden-Kennedy-Williamson debate could be a marvelous show featuring a garrulous old liar rattling on about how he got arrested for trying to visit Nelson Mandela in a prison, or about how his son Beau was killed in Iraq, Kennedy calling out the state and corporate fascism, and Williamson waxing philosophical. Yeah, so look, they don't want this to happen because it will show. I mean, it will show what we already know, but they still have the facade up. This is okay, so many things running through my mind right now. But you see the meme of the building falling down with a couple of stilts holding it up? That's the facade. That's what's happening. And they're still struggling. They're struggling. It's like a boat with holes that keep popping into it, and they're jumping around trying to keep, plug up the holes. It's all completely crumbling. So in their last throes of trying to maintain control, they will stop at absolutely nothing. So yeah, no debates. You can't hear what we're talking about. It doesn't matter. Just shut up and put your mask back on, you idiot. We're in control. That's what they're telling you at every single turn. That's precisely why the debates won't happen. The Democratic National Committee knows that Williamson is nutty and thinks Kennedy is nutty too. And it's well aware that the less the public sees the dementia patient who pretends to be president, the better. Boom. They're going with Biden for re-election, and they know he can only hurt his own chances by standing toe-to-toe against a man who can actually articulate a coherent sentence and defend his positions, as well as against a woman, right? And they're supposed to love women, Women's Month and uplift women and Kamala Harris and all this. absolute nonsense. But when it comes down to it, right? I mean, again, oh, white men are the problem, but not Joe Biden. White men are the problem, but not Gavin Newsom. You know, it never ends with these people, right? And they know, or they think that most people are stupid enough to just jump through the hoops, even though none of it makes any sense if you take one split second to think about it. However loopy she may be, looks like Madame Curie next to old Joe. And despite the fact that RFK, who has never been a national figure, immediately jumped to 14%, there will be no real Democrat race. There will just be a coronation because there are no elections, there are only selections. No one should ever have expected that anything would be different. After all, these people have made it abundantly clear that they don't really like disagreement and want to silence dissent. Why would they allow it within their own party? Absolute facts. So not only do they not want to expose what we already know, you couldn't really be exposed anymore. The only people that can't tell are the people that refuse to. They are willfully ignorant of how corrupt and despicable this man Joe Biden actually is. So it's not like anybody is going to come to the light after a debate. It's just that they know what they have to do to maintain power is obviously not debate. And we see it in everything. That's why they eliminate the middle ground. That's why they censor you. That's why they kick President Trump off YouTube and Instagram, is because with every passing day that a truthful meme or a truthful joke or just a regular truthful sentence that flies in the face of their false reality, it will reach somebody else. And they don't need that. They don't want that. They don't need that. They want to reinstall this 90-year-old empty suit hack and continue to bleed the country dry. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.